when I was told, hey, you can sit on your laptop, unpause the dialer, and have calls flow in, and you hang up, and within 90 seconds, another one's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing ever. I was one
Yeah.
of those guys who was spending, $18 a fresh lead from Ethos, and half the time, like, the number didn't work or they've been called by 19 people. I think my first month with you guys was in October, and I was averaging, I had a crazy October. It was like 17K a week with you guys.
That's so fucking fire.
This is the best platform for, I think, someone to go in and learn, because you just get so many reps. There's no reason you can't close at least 1 or 2 deals and write 5 to 7K a week with this platform that you've set up.
Yeah, we have a lot of agents that are coming on like right now. We had
Good.
40 agents come on this week. Last week.
Sheesh.
I know, bro. It's like holy fuck. So,
I'm on the wrong side of this, man. Join your team.
dude, man, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. It will infinitely always be me looking on that side going,
Yeah.
"Damn, if I just had 5 agents that were closing 9K a day, fuck." And
Yeah.
then, everyone else on the other side, it's like, dude, if I just sold the fucking leads. But like, I think it's one of those, whoa, I don't know why my shit's
That was a
tripping.
little trippy.
Yeah, it might actually do that a couple times. I got this beautiful Mac,
Yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah.
But now it's been having some little twiggity issues. So I don't know what twiggity
Jesus.
is, but we'll call that. But yeah, so we had a lot of these agents that came on. We've seen a lot of people be successful. I've had some guys that have been on for 3 months now and are just starting to really struggle. And I go back and listen to their calls and they're not trying anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how interesting that we're seeing this cycle that, they're like, oh, this is great. I just got fucking 20 sales on my first 100 calls. I got 15 sales on my first 100 calls. And then, the second one, they do really good. And the third one, and it's almost like they're getting too comfortable. And I'm
I
going,
would
this
agree.
is
I see it time
really,
and time again whenever I see people doing live transfers or anything like that. It's the grind isn't there anymore of punching the ethos aged cart leads and getting told to kill yourself 9 different ways.
yeah,
Once you're just sitting here and you just hit answer, like I got the waste management on over here, and it's just answer,
yeah,
unpause. Like, it's so easy to lose like the grit of it sometimes when you do it
yeah,
this way. So I think it definitely takes a certain kind of person who's gonna stay hungry,
yeah.
because I think it is very easy to get comfortable, but it just speaks to how good the program is that people are able to happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, that's actually
Like,
so
you
true.
make it that easy.
How unfortunate, man. God forbid a guy makes it easy. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
feel like it's the same thing with recruiting as well, right? I've been told that when you make it too easy for new recruits, a lot of times they fall off because they don't like get. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a recruiter. This is not my thing. But I just sell calls, bro, and I make sure that they're as
Yeah.
good as I possibly can get them. You know?
They're trying to do that here because we have like 85 cubicles, and like it's already starting to fill up. And we're going to start implementing where it's like, if you're not doing X amount a month, you don't have a seat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, if you're going to sit in here and sell fucking, 2,500 bucks in a month, get out.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah. That's
Hey,
so fire, bro. You have to build that culture, which I didn't realize until, we started a team not even 3 months ago. And I will be honest, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's so hard to manage agents and manage culture. And maybe it's honestly, bro, just because like I love seeing agents be successful, but I think it's just because it's new, right? I think anything that you do that's new, there's going to be a learning curve to it. And
mhm,
I mean, how long have you been in the world of life insurance?
probably a year and a half.
Year and a half, got it. Okay. And then but you've been focused primarily as a solo producer, you told me, right? You're not really
Yeah,
on.
I'm more of, I crank out on my own. I've got a team of killers, but I would much rather, I'm a 4 quarters over 100 pennies kind of guy.
Got it. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
if you're just gonna get your license to get your license, like, I'm not gonna take the time out of my day, because I look at it and it's like, if I'm gonna take a week to train you, like, that's $10,000 out of my pocket,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna be on the phones, I'm not gonna be doing anything. Like, I'm gonna be giving you my full undivided attention to make sure
Yeah.
you're a good, successful person. And then if it's, not working out, they get lazy, whatever. So it's like, I have a million people from my past who are like, oh yeah, like, I'd love to come work with you. I'm tired of asking if, you want fries or salad. Like, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people come in and do really well in your industry who are, high school dropouts. Like,
Hmm.
obviously it works, what's going on. I'm like, okay, it sounds all great and cool. And you see, the 20-year-olds driving M3s and shit, but like, those guys also work 15 hours a day,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very easy. We call them Disneyland agents. It's very easy to, work 2 or 3 days a week because you made 5K. It's more money
Yeah.
than you ever made in your life. You're going to be able to do seven
Whatever.
thousand dollars in a month, and like that's life changing for a lot of people. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
people forget that when they're recruiting.
Yeah.
So they'll go close a deal or two, and it's see you in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I was just telling somebody last month. We had someone come on. They made 28 or they wrote $28,000 in AP. And then, they asked, "Hey, can we pause?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, no problem. It is what it is. But like, can you tell me like what happened?" And he was like, "Oh, no, I'm just going to Bali." And I was like, "Oh, nice. Have fun. When are you coming back?" "I don't know." "Oh, okay. Well, we put you through a full
Yeah,
fucking training and so glad to see your success." I'm like, "Can I get a fucking testimonial from you?" "Yeah, bro, if I get time." I'm like, "All right." So genuinely, brother, I appreciate you even being on this
yeah.
call, and taking
Oh
this
yeah,
with
bro.
me
It's no
because,
problem at all.
there's a lot of people that don't know anything about inbounds. And honestly, when I pitch them on inbounds, man, I would say the biggest like reason why people don't come and work with me is everyone says, "Is this too good to be true?" And because they're just like,
Yeah,
how, like that, I don't get it. Like you're saying I can just get fed calls. It takes 3 minutes to get a phone call. And like, I don't get it. And I'm just like, dude, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
that's what I was getting at earlier. It does feel that way, and once you start doing it, like it almost you get to a point where you're like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Is it this simple? Do they keep flowing in? And I think live transfers just get such a bad rep sometimes because of all the different ways it can be done,
Yeah.
where you can genuinely feel with yours. There's no middleman. There's no random person transferring it to me.
Yeah.
It's this person clicked on it. I'm getting the call. I'm the first person you've talked to since you've looked at this ad. It's a
Yeah.
genuine transfer, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
I
I
think a lot of people are like, that doesn't exist. Like, you can't do that. That's not possible. It has to go to a call center. And like,
yeah.
it's hard to wrap your head around, but here we are.
Yeah. So how long have you've been with you were kind of one of the first adopters, as far as like kind of a bulk, because you came in with a group, right? Or how did you even find us? I forget.
It was me and two other girls who were actually in my office. We were on a Zoom call with you. Hayden
Got it.
introduced us, my brother, and us three. We all had a call, and I was the only one who ended up jumping in. They ended
Oh,
up like, "Oh, we were thinking about doing something else. We're invested into this right now, but once we get a return, we'll hop in and try it out." But yeah,
they
it
were
was
like
the
in the
three of us,
car,
and I
right?
was. They were literally driving. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I remember. Now I remember this. Yeah, that's so funny, bro. And man, I've had literally hundreds of sales calls for Policy Printer. We have over 150 agents on the platform. You were, I would say, probably one of the chillest guys. Like when I have the conversations, not a lot of questions. You're just like, fuck it, I'll try it. Like, let's see how it goes. Had you taken inbounds before, or was this a whole new world for you?
This was a whole new world. I thought the concept sounded so cool. You could have told me anything and I would have been like, sure, let's do it. Just
Yeah.
because the principle of it, like I was one
Yeah.
of those guys who was spending, $18 a fresh lead from Ethos and half the time like the number didn't work or they've been called by 19 people. So like
Yeah.
the grind of that was just so hard. And then trying to get my own organic traffic and referrals and whatever. When I was told, hey, you can sit on your laptop, unpause the dialer and have calls flow in and you hang up and within 90 seconds another one's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing ever. I don't care how you pitch it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Dope. No, that's dope. So, do you have any idea, and you don't have to, but do you have any idea on what your stats are, right? Like, do you know how much you've written, or do you have any idea what close rate looks like? Or
I know I think my first month with you guys was in October, and I was averaging, I had a crazy October. It was like 17K a week with you guys.
that's absurd. That's so fucking fire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was nuts. And then from there, depending on how much time I was putting into it,
Yeah.
I think anyone with a pulse can come in, work full time, taking these inbounds. I think if they work a super full time, part time, kind of the 10 to 3 that you see from a lot of
Yeah.
agents,
Yeah.
if you're not selling a policy or two a day, you're not trying.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no reason you can't close at least one or two deals and write 5 to 7K a week with this platform that you've set up.
Yeah, fire. Well, I appreciate that, and Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, fuck, 17K a week is fire. That's fire as fuck. We had an agent last week, he wrote, yeah, at least it's reported, 12K. And that was the most I ever heard. So I didn't even know that you had done 17. That's fucking heat, bro. That's absolute.
Mhm.
Okay, dope, dope. Okay, sweet. So what would you, so when you first when you first got started, did you kind of just like knock it out of the park off rip, or did you feel that there was a learning curve for you at all?
I think maybe there was like a day or two learning curve, but
Yeah.
I mean, for the first couple weeks, I was eat, breathe, sleep this program, I was gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think once I kind of got like my script down, my cadence down, used to working with, older people and walking them through the steps that you need to walk them through,
Yeah.
probably took no more than a couple days, and then it was right away. I had just
Yeah.
never seen that kind of volume, like even using like a power dialer, trying to reach out to people or having an ad funnel where people are booking on your calendar is just so hard to be able to talk to 10, 15 people a day that are reaching out to you requesting something like this.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Okay, dope. So for somebody that's like newer to final expense, do you think that, like, honest opinion, do you think this is something where somebody could come in, learn our sales processes, get our script, listen to the call recordings, go through our trainings, which I know you didn't even go through our trainings because back when you first got started, we didn't have like an actual
Uh-uh.
legit sales training. So like,
Yeah.
do you think that somebody that's new to this, do you think that it would work for them, or would you recommend this is only something for somebody that has a lot of experience selling final expense and they can come over and come
No,
learn?
not at all. I think with the materials that you guys have, I think anyone who is able to pass the exam and get their license should be able to jump in and do this. I think final expense, most agents would agree is one of the more simplified sales. We don't
Yeah.
need to go through an entire IUL presentation and talk about how we're going to set it up and max cash value and this and that. It's as simple as Nate, what's the perfect day look for you after you pass? We're thinking burial, we're thinking cremation. We
Yeah.
want a lot of people at the funeral. It's very easy to decide what coverage looks like for something like this. And at
Mm,
the end of the day, these people are requesting your services and your help to get this taken care of. So as long as you can learn the script and you know what final expense insurance is,
yeah.
yes, I think absolutely anyone could come in green to the industry and hit the ground running with something like this.
Okay, dope. Okay, sweet. So if there's, because like one of the biggest things that people say to me, right? I think they're so used to either outbound dialing or getting leads or whatever that looks like. They'll
Yeah.
bring up they'll be like your competition. They'll be like, so I'm talking to your competition right now. I'm talking to somebody right now about this and that. Like leads, there's other companies. I'm not going to say any company names that are out there, but like in the different models, right? There's inbound calls, there's real-time leads, there's age data. Would you say that inbound calls is the best? Do you think it depends on the person? Do you think that a point, like from your perspective, I mean, you've been doing it for a year and a half. You probably tested several different.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think for final expense, live inbound calls is definitely the way to go.
Really?
100%. Because a lot of the people you're talking to, it's on their mind right now. They want to talk to someone about it. They're in the headspace to do it. The reality of the situation is most insurance agents, when they book a call for next Tuesday at 3, I'd say 85% of the time, no one's answering that call.
Yeah.
You got to be really good on your follow-ups. You got to be really good with your calendar and getting everything rolling in order for them to follow through with that appointment. It's just such a good concept for that one call close.
Yeah.
So I think of all the things that I've tried, I'll never not do something like this as long as I'm in the business.
Yeah.
Supplementing with other things, if you're trying to, get that, $3,000 AP on a sale, sure, you can have something go into your calendar and booking stuff out, but why wouldn't you sit here and have this power dialer, or the live transfer dialer just ripping while you're waiting for your lead, advertisement or whatever to flow. There's no other thing that compares to it for just your 9 to 5 workday punching out dials. Why wouldn't you want to do this?
Yeah. Fire.
Instead of punching phones.
Yeah, and that's kind of my methodology. And I had somebody I did a testimonial with, and I genuinely, again, man, I just really appreciate your feedback and your honest opinion on it. I had somebody yesterday
Yeah, of
say that
course.
he prefers to use this as a supplement, which made a lot of sense. He's like, but he actually does a lot of mortgage protection. So he's like, I hadn't done final
Yeah.
expense in a long time. I found you online. and he was like, I wanted to supplement my current mortgage protection stuff. So I basically just log in whenever I want to. And he really liked it. So I feel like it can definitely be a good supplement. I would love for people to use it as their main, but for me, man, and I hope this shines with my team and our customer service and stuff. Like, dude, we genuinely just want to see people's success. So if they're best with outbound leads, and then they want to, supplement, hey, maybe take 5 calls a day just to add it in and try to get one knocked on the board.
Hmm.
That's kind of my mentality. So one big concern that a lot of times people have, especially when they have heard of transfers or inbounds, and they talk to everybody else. And then they come to me and then they find out that I run on a 10-second buffer. A lot of times I get a lot of resistance there, and they are concerned with the short duration. And I've been told it's not worth it. They don't feel that the 10 seconds is worth it for them. And then I hear other people that have taken the 90-second duration, which a lot of times is like 55 to $60 a call on a 90, and they're frustrated with very low volume, or they're frustrated with just a very high CPA because, it's like $60 for the call instead of 25. So in your perspective,
Yeah.
obviously you deal with me. I'm sure you've talked to other lead vendors or other inbound call guys. I mean, your brother is your brother. He probably has God knows who. Do you prefer the short duration, or would you prefer a longer duration? Where do you come through with that?
I mean, I think at the price point, the short duration doesn't like bother me. I wouldn't want to pay for a longer duration, you know. In my pitch, it's immediately, "Hi, this is Blaine. Are you calling in about final expense plans?"
Yeah.
And immediately, "Oh yeah, the free 40,000." And okay, click, hang up. You're not. You obviously don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But in that time, it's, "Oh yes, yes I am. I was looking for the final expense plans." Okay, great. Can I get started with your first loss, whatever your pitch is from there? But I think with that buffer, if you are good enough to get your point across, you can figure out pretty darn quick, if they're serious and looking for something like this, or if they're just confused calling, whatever pops up on their phone that day.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I noticed is when we did the short duration, and I don't know if I told you this a long time ago, when we moved to the short duration, agents actually had twice the average talk time and
Yeah,
half of the cost per acquisition. Because I think it's a
yeah,
mindset thing. Like if you have 90 seconds, it's kind of like,
I
okay, I
agree.
have I have a minute and a half to try to disqualify this person. But it's
I
like
agree.
if somebody calls in and they're like, yes, I need money for a burial, it's like I think they should leave with the policy, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%. There's no reason not to. So that's why it's like for me right away, "Hi, are you calling in about final expense plans?"
yeah,
Yes, great. No, bye.
yeah.
And it's as simple as that. I don't even need 10 seconds. I need five.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Okay, dope. Now let's see.
Because if
So,
you say yes to me, it's like I'm gonna find a way to close you on this.
yeah,
Even if you think it's this or it's that, if you are calling in looking for final expense, and as long as you say yes, we're gonna find a way to, make this work for you.
yeah, yeah, I feel you. And it's like, fuck, just give them something, man. Even if it's 5K, just give them something. Get something on the board for
Yeah.
us. A lot of the different people that are considering coming on, they are either solo producers or agency
Okay.
owners. Would you say
Okay.
that this is more so something for solo producers that want to come in, log in, take calls? Or do you think it's more so for agencies, or do you think it's both? Where do you
I think
think?
it's both. I think it's both. I mean, I'm an agency owner and I've got, a team of 10 guys, and, they're all kind of doing their own things that they, are running. But if any of like I have probably 3, 4 agents coming on in the next like week or two, and this will be where they start. You know, these guys have all been with me, the 10 I was talking about, forever,
Yeah,
long before I knew you. But as an agency owner, anyone new, this is the best platform for, I think, someone to go in and learn, because you just get so many reps.
yeah,
You're talking to qualified people, you're talking to a warm lead at a volume that I don't think you can find the quality volume per day in any other way. As a solo producer, it's great because, like what we were talking on earlier, if I am sitting in my office, got a new agent in here, I can just have the dialer running and not doing anything. And in
yeah,
that 3 minutes, we can go over something real quick while they're shuffling around to get their account and routing. I mute my mic real quick and we start talking about what we need to do. But as far as the outreach, like I don't have to worry about my ads being good and my ad spend being high, or running my power dialer and calling a bunch of people all day. I'm paused or I'm unpaused, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah,
being a guy who's working with other people within the office and wanting to keep my production high, without taking myself away from the phones while still training new people, it's a no-brainer for me because I can be 15 feet over there with my laptop just going, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, fire. And bloop. And it's up. Let's
Yeah,
go. Fish on.
a hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah, fire. Okay, sick. So if somebody was on my platform right now and they were struggling and they're not hitting the conversions, what would like obviously this is very general and you could say I don't fucking know, Nate, but what would you tell somebody that's like struggling right now? Like is there any feedback that you'd say obviously without diving in and looking in the issues? Like is there
Yeah, I
any
mean,
general?
obviously, I would want to know, what they're complaining about. But for me personally, whenever I feel myself like in a slump for anything, with your program very specifically, I like to kind of talk to people about whether it's a burial or a cremation plan and kind of
Mm,
take the money out of it. Like,
mhm.
oh, okay, we're gonna get this is the 10,000 option, this is the 15 option, this is the 20,000 option. What I'll do is I'll say, oh, okay, great. How are we planning to use this money? Are you looking at a cremation or a burial? Oh, I'd like to do a burial. That's great. Most people do that, whatever. Are you looking to have funeral coverage in there as well? Or have you already bought your plot? Where are you at? Are you completely new to this? Oh, I'm completely new to it. Great. Okay, so for our burial plan, they start about $15,000 and go up to about 25. Most people will kind of go right in the middle and then go up or down from there. But making it a more streamlined plan of this is for your burial, this is for your funeral costs instead of, oh, let's get you, 10, 15K in final expense coverage that's going to pay for your burial or cremation. I think being very intentional with everything with this genre of people, I
Yeah.
think they really appreciate that and really taking your time to explain what each dollar is going to do for them instead of just kind of rushing the sale and let's find an amount that works for you. What can you afford each month? Making it a
Yeah.
very intentional thing and being personable with them. All right, we're going to get in contact with your beneficiary and make sure they know me
Mm,
because, when they need to use this, da 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 da. Then you start getting referrals off these people too because they like you.
yeah.
But I think in a short answer, ignoring the buffer, taking your time, getting to know that person and making everything very intentional has always busted me out of a slump.
Interesting. Yeah. And I think I think from my perspective, the way that I would say that is people, when they're closing final expense, I think a lot of times they forget that they're solving a real problem. And I think they
Yeah,
focus too much on like $43 a month or
exactly.
$62 a month. And so is
Exactly.
that kind of what you're saying? Like,
I
stop
think I think
focusing
that's
on like,
that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is stop. We're not focusing on a monthly premium. We're not focusing on a coverage amount. All that I want to do is help you solve this problem. And if
yeah,
you make your pitch that way of we're solving this issue for you that you called in for me to fix,
yeah.
it's always a much better response.
Yeah, got you. Okay. Well, sweet, dude. I appreciate you. I don't want to take up any more of your time. You've been on here longer than I was, even anticipating. Thanks for, giving me some kind words and I'm glad
No
it's working
problem at
for
all,
you.
brother.
That's really dope. And yeah, as soon as you're ready to bring on agents, bro, you got my team. And now, by the way, we have two full-time sales trainers. So,
Love it.
you know what I mean? If you want us to review calls with them, dude, anything that you need,
Yeah.
disposal, and agents don't use them enough. We have literally over 150 agents that have paid me and are on this platform right now. And dude, with two agents, or with two trainers, I still have time slots available for them. So it's just
Yeah.
because people don't really use it. So if at any time you need, bro, let us
Yeah,
know.
absolutely, man. This office is going to start filling up. So once I got some more people
Okay.
for you, I'll definitely be in contact.
Well, I appreciate it very much, man, and we're here to do good business with you. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Thank you for the feedback, brother. I appreciate you. Let me know if
Yes,
you
of
need
course,
anything.
man. Anytime.
Right on.
Appreciate
Have a
you.
good
Yep.
one.
Yep. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, homie. You too.